We'll go on the record in Glazier versus Glazier. The record should reflect that Ms. Glazier is present along with her counsel, Mr. Blumberg, by Zoom. Mr. Glazier is also present by Zoom. This is set for a status conference hearing today. Mr. Blumberg, can you tell me where things are at from your side of things?
Sure, Judge. Again, Mr. Glazier is currently unrepresented, which has complicated the case a bit. Some of the delay attributed to getting this case resolved had to do with the valuation of Mr. Glazier's business, which he has now informed me has been dissolved. So given the status of that, it would appear the only way we get this matter is resolved is by trial. And so, Judge, we would be respectfully asking your court to set a trial date in this matter. We would think it can be done in a single day.
Okay, has there been mediation yet, or do you feel that mediation would not be helpful, or what's your position on that, Mr. Blumberg?
Well, I think early on we had a mediation, but that was when Mr. Glazier was operating a business. So we haven't gone back to try it again. I don't know if the court feels it would be appropriate to go back. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to resolve this matter at this point.
Okay. Mr. Glazier, can you tell me what your position is as we stand today?
You know, last time we were in front of Your Honor, Your Honor, the mediation has reached out to me, and I said I was available for whatever. I'm not saying that mediation would answer any problems, because like Mr. Blumberg said, they wanted to come after some of my business. There is no business. So I don't know. I spoke with Mr. Blumberg and kind of told him what I thought was somewhat of a fair, my feelings of a fair separation arrangement of this marriage, and I would assume that was shot down, I guess. I don't know. I haven't heard otherwise. I'm just, you know, this is drug on for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Blumberg, did you say half a day or 1 day? I'm sorry.
If Mr. Glazier is unrepresented, then we probably could do it in a half a day. If he were to retain counsel, then I suspect it would take a day.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set this for a half a day bench trial. I agree. I think both of you are indicating we just need to get this set for a hearing and get it resolved. So I'll set it for a half a day bench trial. Mr. Blumberg, is there any particular time that you need in order to be ready for that?
I think 30 days, because I got to get the appraiser subpoenaed and, you know, to get all the documents necessary. Yeah, so outside of 30 days would be fine.
Okay, Mr. Glazier, is that enough time for you to be ready?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Glazier, are you intending to proceed without counsel?
That's correct.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that you're clear. You know, I can't give you legal advice. I can't act as an advocate for you and tell you what to do or how to do it. So you may want to consider, you know, at least consulting with an attorney. But the date of this bench trial, that's going to be the date that the court takes any evidence that there is regarding assets and debts of the parties, and the court will be making a decision on how to divide those things up. So that's going to be a really important day for you to be ready with any documentation and other things that you're going to need to present your side of the case here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Your Honor.
So again, to the extent you're able to, I would encourage you to seek some legal advice as to how to proceed so that you can adequately represent yourself if that's what you're going to do. The court will send out notices to each of you for the date and time of that hearing. That will be, because it involves the taking of evidence, it will be an in-person hearing, so everyone will be required to be here in the courtroom for that hearing. along with any witnesses you may have, unless there's an agreement to do it remotely. Mr. Blumberg, anything else I can address for your side today?
Judge, just that I will continue to reach out to Mr. Glazier to see what we can do to try to resolve this in advance of trial.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Glazier, do you have any questions at all?
My only question, Your Honor, is my court paperwork has been being sent to an old address. Is that something that I could handle right now, or do I need to contact the clerk, or how do I handle that?
I don't want you to put that out there now because this is a public hearing and I don't know that you want to put your address out for everybody to hear. So
Sure.
you can call the clerk's office, but yeah, if you're not getting mail, then you should definitely call to make sure that we have the correct address.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all for today. And you're both free to disconnect. We're on the record in Glazier versus Glazier. We have both counsel present and both parties present, everybody by Zoom. Mr. Garfield, I am in receipt of a motion that you filed today to withdraw from the case. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you talked with Mr. Glazier about that?
Yes, we have this morning.
Okay. Mr. Glazier, do you have any objection to Mr. Garfield withdrawing as your attorney in this case?
I guess it is what it is. What do I gain from objecting if he's not in it?
I don't know. I can't really give you advice. I just
I
have to.
hear you. It's if he's not in it, I don't want him representing me.
Okay, so Mr. Blumberg, did you have any input on that issue?
I wasn't even aware that it was up for today, Judge. We weren't provided a copy of the motion.
It just happened this morning.
Yeah, so Mr. Blumberg, Mr. Garfield filed a written motion today. I'm treating this as a verbal motion here on the record.
That'll work.
No, I have no objection. It's just going to slow things down. Right now, they're pretty much at a crawl, so whatever, Judge, whatever you...
You guys aren't doing too hot yourself, Elliot.
Probably not.
All
Okay.
right, I don't want to engage in back and forth here, Mr. Glazier, so Mr. Garfield, I'll sign that order and you're free to disconnect at this time if you'd like. Mr. Glazier, are you going to hire a new attorney, or do you know how you're going to proceed?
This was just dropped on me this morning. Actually, this afternoon. So.
Okay. Well, it looks like you guys participated in mediation at the end of February. The mediator's report indicates that there was a partial agreement. Mr. Blumberg, from your side, can you tell me what things remain? What are the issues from your standpoint?
Well, Judge, we actually went back. We had a second mediation scheduled, and Mr. Garfield didn't have the opportunity to review the appraisal that was done at that time, so it was rescheduled. We have just retained an expert to value Mr. Glazier's business, and so that needs to be done, and it's going to take probably 45 to 60 days to accomplish that. Once that's done, then we'll be in a position to see where we're at to try to resolve this matter.
Is that the main issue that's remaining from your standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's the only issue. Right now, the house has been appraised, but he has his own business, and there's a real discrepancy as to the values that he believes it's worth and what we believe it to be worth.
All right, Mr. Glazier, do you agree that that's the main issue that remains?
I guess it's one of them. It's probably their biggest thing. My main issue is to get this thing done and over with. I've submitted a bunch of my things of value to Garfield, and I don't really know exactly what's happened with that stuff. So, I mean, it was a bunch of back and forth. I want every screwdriver. We need to get the cutlery. It's been a tit for tat ordeal. I would almost just subject to putting whatever cards are on the table and letting your honor just dividing it. Just been going on.
You broke up there. Can you repeat just the last couple of things you said?
Yeah, it's just been a tit for tat ordeal all the way from the beginning. She's taking this, I owe that. I just want this thing done and over with.
Okay. All right, Mr. Blumberg, I'm going to give you some time to complete that appraisal. I don't think the court could have a hearing and make any decisions without that. That'll also give you time, Mr. Glazier, if you decide that you do want to hire a different counsel, it'll give you time to make a decision about that. So the court will set this for a status conference at about 60 days. If there haven't been any agreements, then at that point, we'll set it for a final hearing. And the court will we'll set it for a bench trial, and the court will make decisions if there haven't been any agreements on the remaining issues. Mr. Blumberg, any other dates that I can address for your side today?
No, Judge, I guess until Mr. Glazier gets new counsel, I'll be serving requests for documents to him directly.
Correct, yep, okay. Mr. Glazier, any other questions for today from your side?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Glazier, Mr. Garfield, you're free to disconnect.
Judge Elliott Blumberg on behalf of the plaintiff, who is appearing via Zoom from my office.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jennifer Dusman-Coy on behalf of Maya Ford, who's present with me in my office as well.
All right, thank you. So welcome, everyone. We're here for a status conference. Mr. Blumberg, I think the last time we were here, actually I might have it backwards. I think Mr. Dusman-Coy, you were here. Mr. Blumberg, you may have been involved in a different hearing. In any event, I gave you some more time to continue discussions. I think you were still waiting on some other items that I had ordered previously for the tax returns and so forth. So Mr. Blumberg, from plaintiff's standpoint, what are you still waiting on, if anything, and what's the status of the case?
Judge, the last time I participated was back in January when you denied the request of the defendant for some additional time to provide the tax returns. At about 11 o'clock this morning, I got an email from Ms. Dusman-Coy sending me over a bunch of documents, which I have not even had a chance to look at. So I don't know if Mr. Ford has complied with the court's order and provided all of the tax returns that haven't been filed. So perhaps we can defer to her and she can tell us where we're at.
Ms. Dusman-Coy, do you have any updates?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I received from Mr. Ford's CPA today the 2021 and the 2022 tax returns. He's also informed me he's done with the 2023 returns as well, and I should have those, if not today, then tomorrow. And then he can complete the 2024 returns hopefully next week.
So, Mr. Blumberg, obviously you need that information to be able to review and before we decide how to proceed, right?
Yes, Judge. I mean, at some point we had hoped to be able to get some type of business valuation done of Mr. Ford's business, but we hadn't had the tax returns. Now, assuming we get them, it's going to take some time for us to have them looked at, reviewed, and valued. So I don't want to drag this out any longer than we need to, but we're no further along than we were, unfortunately.
Well, are you saying that you need to have copies of tax returns for you to be able to do a business valuation?
Absolutely. That's what the CPAs are requiring.
Okay. Ms. Dusman-Coy, do you agree with that in order to complete a business valuation, the tax returns need to be up to date and accurate?
Well, I would, but I think there's other ways to value a business, but yes, that is an important part of doing that. And I did, just for clarification, I forwarded the 2021 and 2022 returns to Mr. Blumberg via email. Those are the documents I sent over today, so.
So in the interim between when you get those documents and obviously review them, find out if you think they're sufficient, Mr. Blumberg, what should I do other than give you the time to do so and set a status conference at some point down the road for you to be able to get a timeline together.
Sure, and I apologize, but this process has been delayed for 6 months because we haven't had the documents. I mean, I think Ms. Dusman-Coy acknowledges that business valuations require the production of profit and loss statements and tax returns. Once we get them, then I've got to get them to our expert, and they have to start the whole process, and that doesn't happen overnight, regrettably.
Well, I'm not trying to hold your feet to the fire, Mr. Blumberg. I just need an idea. I understand it's frustrating because you wanted these documents prior. I get the sense that Mr. Ford wanted them prior, even though I know you would argue if I let you that he didn't do what he needed to get them done on time. But all that said, I just need an estimate of how much time you need to get everything done. I'm not going to be frustrated if you tell me what you need, as long as it's reasonable. I'm sure you'll tell me something reasonable.
Well, from personal experience, it's probably going to be 90 days before the firm that's going to do the business valuation. And again, they're going to probably ask for additional documents that we don't have. So I want to be conservative in my estimate of the time because I don't want to have to come back and ask for more time because we haven't completed it. So I would think 90 days would be sufficient for the company to do the business valuation.
Ms. Dusman-Coy, are you also seeking a business valuation, or are you simply going to rely upon what Mr. Blumberg has?
I think we would need to talk about who the firm is that's going to do the business valuation. Possibly we could come to an agreement on that. We might seek our own, because Ms. Ford also has her own business interest and we don't have a business valuation for that. So we would want to complete one at least of her business. I don't know if we'd get a secondary one of my clients as well.
And there's no problem with that, and I assume the opposite side of the coin is true as well. You probably need to have full tax returns in order to start that process, but we're here in May. The case was filed in May of the year before, so the case is a year old. My point in bringing that up is, Ms. Dusman-Coy, if you need to have that done, what do you need to get it scheduled?
So at present, I don't need anything else from the plaintiff to do that. She's already provided her tax returns. So right now, I don't know that I need other documents at this point.
So if I give you the same 90-day time period that Mr. Blumberg is asking for, but make it more specific than I'm providing you the time, but that's all I'm providing, is there anything else I can do or phrase it any differently to benefit the parties? Mr. Blumberg, I'll start with you first.
No, Judge, I think that, again, that's just the time that's going to be required for us. I mean, we can't even really negotiate in good faith without knowing values. I mean, we had made an overture early on in this matter, and understandably it wasn't accepted, but we'll continue to work towards trying to resolve this ourselves, and maybe again, and that we probably will need to go to mediation. We haven't explored that yet, so that's out there as well.
Ms. Dusman-Coy, is that 90-day time frame legitimate? Is it reasonable for you to be able to get the business valuation that you need done?
I think that's a fair timeline, Your Honor, but I think that honestly, Mr. Blumberg and I could work together. If we weren't able to meet that 90-day time frame, I think we could ask, we would, I think, be able to work together and say, actually, we need 30 more days, Judge. I don't think that would be an issue, but I think 90 days is a good line for us to have in the sand right now, yes.
Well, and I totally understand that. There are things that happen outside of the attorney's control, and I'll take that into account, but what I'm believing might be beneficial to the parties and to the attorneys is to have a written order. And of course, I can always maintain the authority to change that order, but an order that's a stipulated order that all business valuations that are going to be performed must be completed within the next 90 days unless otherwise ordered by the court. In other words, I want there to be some concreteness to it, even though I'm telling you, if you need additional time, I'll be willing to grant it. Mr. Blumberg, as to whether or not you think that would be helpful, do you think it would be helpful to have some sort of a hard and fast rule, even if it's not as hard and fast as we might all want?
No, that's fine, Judge. I think there is going to be at least another issue as to the cost and the expense associated with the valuations. I mean, Ms. Dusman-Coy and I have had other cases where Academy Valuation of Grand Rapids has done business valuations, and I know for a fact what they require is a $7,500 upfront retainer. I know that currently my client doesn't have the resources to pay for that. So if we're going to talk about 90 days, I don't want to have to come back in 30 days to file a motion to have the court consider how these things get paid for.
Well, I mean, I assume you've talked to Ms. Dutzman-McCoy about your request to have her client contribute money towards that evaluation.
I don't know that I have. I don't want to misrepresent to the court.
Well, I said it somewhat facetiously, but again, I'm trying to be somewhat on purpose with that. This case has been existing for a year. Whether or not you've had the ability to do the business valuations, it appears clear that you haven't had that ability because you don't have the tax returns yet. But you also have known the position relatively of your client and that she wasn't going to be able to utilize or pay for the services that you want ultimately. So the answer to the question is, you should have had the motion docketed up in front of me already if you're seeking contribution.
Judge, in our initial filing in this case, I asked the court to, if the tax returns were not produced in a timely manner, we asked the court to release funds from a jointly owned account so that we could get this ball rolling and hire somebody. That was in a very.
I don't recall that, but I'm sure you have it right, and I'm sure you made that specific request. But I issued an order, and if the order needs to be modified, I'm sure I told you, because this is very common for me, that whatever relief I'm granting, you can show any changed circumstances, and I'd be willing to revisit it. So the quick answer is this: if you need me to make a ruling on a request that you've made and it has not been honored, make a motion, get it back in front of me. If I get the sense that it's already been requested and I simply denied it at the time, I don't have a problem reconsidering it if it's appropriate. So get it motioned up. Does that affect the 90-day time period? And if you can't get on to the court's docket for another 30 days to make that request?
I guess I should be able to talk to counsel about it and see if we can stipulate to it. I would hope that we could, or we could talk about it right now. I don't want to take up the court's time, but it seems to me that a simple yes or no could be given, and that would determine whether I have to refile the motion.
Mr. McCoy, did you want to be heard?
There was a motion that was filed. I believe that the motion requested funds from the party's retirement account. And those were funds that my client, I thought, were going to be used to pay the tax that he believed he was going to owe. He is going to owe significant taxes. So I would have to talk about whether we agree to use Adam evaluation. In my opinion, they're overpriced and they inflate a value of a business. That's my opinion. So I don't know that we could agree to using them. And then the cost of using them at $7,500 as a retainer, I don't know that we could agree at this point either. However, I'm willing to discuss that further with Mr. Blumberg off the record. I'm not willing to stipulate to it on the record today.
Fair enough. These discussions then need to be formalized and finalized. I get that you don't have them yet. There's still some things that you're waiting to get, Mr. Blumberg. But I need these things to get in order between the attorneys or brought back to me so that I can make an order on them. I'm going to have the attorneys put together a joint order indicating a specific time period. If after your discussions about the timely need for a new motion regarding contribution is going to delay it, then I want you to tell me in the order you're going to ask for a period of whatever period you're asking for all business valuations to be done. I would expect to see a stipulated order laying out that time frame. And again, if I need to extend that on good cause, I will. My intention is to have a somewhat firm set date for all of those things to be done. Then I'll know when I can refer the case to mediation. Then I'll know when I need to set the case for trial if we need a trial. So, Mr. Blumberg, are you clear about what I'm expecting in a stipulated order regarding the time frame?
Yes, I am.
Are you as well, Mr. McCoy?
Yes, Your Honor.
What I'll do then is whatever that time period is, around the end of that time period, I'm just going to on my own set a new status conference. If you need a status conference to discuss anything else, my staff know we'll get it on the docket. Otherwise, I'll either see you at the next status conference that I schedule or for a motion hearing if one of the motions is necessary to file. Anything else today, Mr. Blumberg?
No, Judge, thank you.
Mr. McCoy?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone, and good luck in the interim.
Thank you, Your Honor.